Okay. So like I said, fluency is getting our reading to flow the same way that our speech flows, right? So like when I'm talking to you, if I'm speaking a sentence, I don't have to think about pausing after the sentence. It just kind of naturally happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to get the same type of flow in our reading as we have in our speech. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do this. It's a fluency phrase and punctuation cue, like practice basically. So it's going to have you, this first card has you read like little phrases that don't really make sense. They're not full sentences. It's just to help you like basically do what the punctuation is telling you to do, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you see a period, stop, or comma, like kind of a brief little pause, stuff like that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through this, and I want you to read these. And so it goes from like not making sense at all to then like reading a little paragraph, okay? And see how they're all like broken up by color?
Mm-hmm.
That's telling you, you know, it's changing.
Ka, rustle, chirp.
Hold on.
Chirp.
When it changes, it's asking for a break, like a little pause. So, caw, rustle, chirp, chirp. Caw, rustle, hoot. Okay? Did you see how I paused every time the color changed? Okay, so let's work on that. Go ahead.
Ka, rustle, chirp, chirp. Ka, rustle, hoot, chirp. Rustle, chirp, ka, hoot, rustle, chirp. Hoot, ka, rustle, hoot, chirp, rustle, chirp. Hoot, chirp, rustle, chirp, hoot. Ka, rustle, hoot. Chirp, ka, rustle, hoot. Ka, rustle, chirp. Ka, rustle, chirp.
See how it has you kind of slowing down and speeding up and taking a pause?
That's really fast as I've ever read.
Huh?
That was the really fast as I've ever read.
Like I said, the first one won't make any sense. Okay, now. I want you to read this one just like you did that one with like brief, not long
So
pauses.
the color changes.
Yep. Okay.
The scarecrow's hat flew off in the blustery wind. Oh no, the scarecrow thought. What will I do now? He wiggled and jiggled and tried to hop off his stick. Sadly, he couldn't. This is just awful, he thought. Suddenly, he had a plan. Oh, Blackbird, where are you? He called out. Oh, dearest Blackbird, where are you, my friend? He looked all around. Then he saw the blackbird flying swiftly towards him. The hat. And guess...
No, you skipped the line. The scarecrow.
Scarecrow asked the blackbird to bring him back his hat. And guess what? The blackbird quickly returned with the hat that had blown away. What a great ending to a Scarecrow's day.
Perfect. Bryce, I'm going to tell you. So in our reading, you know how we've been reading the borrowers?
Mm-hmm.
You've been reading great, but a little bit choppy, right? And this is the best I've heard you read so far as flow. Like you did great, like perfectly with your pauses and following punctuation. Okay, so now
I can't see the color.
Now they've taken the colors away. So now you have to pay attention to the punctuation to tell you when to pause and stuff like that, okay? Now remember, you want it to flow just like as if you were talking without reading, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go ahead and we're gonna read it again.
The Scarecrow's hat flew off in the blustery wind. Oh no, the Scarecrow thought. What will now? He wiggled and jiggled and tried to hop off his stick. Sadly, he couldn't. This is just awful, he thought. Suddenly, he had a plan. Oh, Blackbird, where are you? He called out, oh, dearest Blackbird, where are you, my friend? He looked all around. Then he saw the Blackbird flying swiftly towards him. The Scarecrow asked the Blackbird to bring him back his hat. And guess what? The Blackbird quickly returned with the hat that had blown away. What a great ending to the Scarecrow's day.
Perfect. That was really good. You followed all the punctuation just like you did in the previous one, right? And did you hear yourself reading that it sounded like it flowed a lot better?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever notice when you're reading that it kind of sounds choppy, like when we were reading The Borrowers before?
Mm-hmm.
But that sounded good, right? Like it flowed. It sounded like you were just telling a story, didn't it? So that's how you want it to sound every time you read, all right? That was perfect. All right, so now I have some questions I want to ask you, and I need you to write on your sheet of paper your answer in a full sentence, okay? So the first is, these are questions about what we just read. Yep. So what is the problem in this passage? So write a full sentence answering that. What is the problem in this passage? And once you're done with that, you can read me your answer. What is it? What's the problem in this passage?
The problem in this passage is that the Scarecrow's hat had blown off and he couldn't move.
Good job. Okay, that's perfect. All right, question number 2. How is the problem solved? Go ahead.
The problem is solved because he called the Blackbird and the Blackbird came and returned his hat.
Okay, awesome. All right, now this last one, I'm not going to have you write it. I want you to think about it because it's a little bit of a harder question. I don't know how much you know about points of view and like the perspective of writing. So the question is, from whose point of view is the story told? Do you know? You don't gotta write it. You can just tell me.
I can write it. All right.
Okay. Whose point of view is the story told?
The point of view is told by the scarecrow because no one else talked.
Good job. That's all the questions for that one. Did you like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You did really good on that. I'm really proud of you because it's literally the best I've heard you read so far. It was like so smooth and not choppy. It was awesome.